to order 2 shelves from IKEA, because I really want to have like 2 shelves on the wall in my studio where I can display my pillows like properly, you know, and so they're always visible both to me and to people when they come over in my studio to see them, like, you know, nicely up on a shelf. So I decided I'm gonna buy one from IKEA because it looks very simple and good enough for what I need. So I will now go to check a bit the website and probably go to purchase one and let it deliver here at my studio, because it's the easiest thing to do, I believe. And I was thinking to buy the wooden color one. I think it's the coziest, because here there is a lot of white going on, and probably the wooden color texture brings a bit more like warmth, you know, like coziness. So I think I'm gonna go for the brown, for the wooden texture one. I have to say, I very much like this bird. Like, I like its face. There is something very, very cute, very sweet and kind in his eyes, and also on the shape of his body and the claws. There is something very naive, which I would like to bring in some little zine for both children and adults to look at. Plus, I very much like also how this bird turned out. This one, the original colors of that sort of bird species is very beautiful. It's like really bright and super colorful, and it ranges from red till green till blue, yellow, even some black, isn't it? And it's really, really amazing. I just don't know yet if I'm gonna go for a colorful zine or a black and white one, so I honestly don't know yet what I'm gonna do. But I definitely want to start to draw, starting from this selection of sketches of birds I did. Select the ones which I want to take and begin a story with it, or something, like to make a little zine out of it. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I've actually got a few more sketches which I made the other day, and I didn't really transfer them yet on my iPad, so I need to, probably that's what I'm gonna do now. I go to select a few more, take a picture, and then transfer it on my iPad so that I can draw them better first, like to trace them, and then I will make a new selection, an extra one, because I actually sketched more than that you saw on my wall. So I will definitely make some more drawing, because there is something very interesting like this one which I didn't yet transfer on the iPad. I don't know why I didn't choose it at first, but I was thinking of it while I was home. I was thinking about this bird, and I thought that it was a very interesting one, and I had to go back. And it has also some kind of look quite similar to this one, which I very much like. You see that they are on the same line as kind of look and character, especially when you look at the eye. the eyes, how they're done. They're quite similar and I very much like, so I definitely go to take a picture of this one and probably some other one. This one is also super cool. I think I will definitely add to the list of birds which I selected. So I'm gonna go to the toilet.
My numbers were off a bit, and that's just like business stuff that is really hard to predict sometimes. And so I put a poll on Instagram.
Literally so cold in here that I can see my own breath. So I'm gonna get the wood burner going, make it cozy.
Mimo? Mangiamo, amore? È poppone, amore mio. Ma... Yes? New zine. I had in my mind the idea to start the new year, even though it's not yet started, but we are the last 2 weeks of December, so I mean January is just behind the corner, and I wanted to start this new year with a feeling of excitement, you know, with a positive vibe, and to me that means to embrace a subject that it has always brought me a big amount of energy and positive vibe and a lot of brightness, how to say, a lot of light towards my path. And this is definitely birds, and so since I never made a zine with birds as subject, I thought that was probably finally the time. And it's not only this reason, but also because I find birds fascinating, and I think I would like to make these zines for both adult people to look at and also children, because I often have customers which are adult people who come by with their children, you know, in my studio, and I think it's quite magical when as a child you face drawings, you know, in front of you, and it's always so fascinating and amazing somehow. At least that was for me as a child, but I can see that with children. When they come by, they are really amazed from these drawings and the colors or the shapes, and so I think it's a cute idea to have a couple of zines to like just display on my table when I do some open days here at my studio. So that was what I wanted to work on today. So I started already, and the idea is also to add text, because that's what I always do also in my zines. In my zines, I always add like a little text each single page, or not every page mostly, but I think this time I'm gonna do that. So I will have in every page, so each illustration will have a little text next, which is a kind of sentence, and I like to call it poetry, but it's kind of just how to say, it's a kind of leitmotif of my story, of my illustrations. I try always to put like these little sentences in each single illustration, and mostly I start in Italian because it's my language, so I can like let it go easily, and I can just write what I feel is the best sentence I want to add next to my illustration. And then I always put just like down below the English translation so that people can understand, even though they don't speak Italian. But I want to start the new year by adding also not only the English translation but also the Dutch translation, because I mean I'm here living in Belgium long already, and I would like to kind of show my gratitude to this country. And because of most of the people who come in when I have my open days are of course Belgian people, sometimes also some Holland people, because they are just very close to Belgium. So it happens sometimes they are on the area here and they come by. So even though most of them speak English, so they understand the translation, it's I think very nice to give the opportunity to have this little translation from Italian to Dutch. So I will do my best to just write the first translation. It pops up in my mind when I want to translate it, and then I will ask my boyfriend to correct it, because for sure there will be mistakes. I mean, Dutch is I'm not yet fluent in Dutch. I do my best to learn it. I don't speak it so much, but I mean I can already have a little conversation, and if I step in a shop where English is not welcome, let's say, because people don't speak, then I do my best to speak in Dutch, and most of the times works without any problems. But I'm not yet so fluent in it. So, but anyway, I will put Dutch right under Italian, and then English as the last translation, so everybody's happy. And also I find it very fascinating, honestly, because I've been always interested in trying to understand what an artist or a writer would have written in his own language, and then which is the translation, probably in Italian or in English whatsoever. So So now I'm going to try to start to print the first pages of the zine and see a little bit how it looks and if I made any mistake that needs to be fixed. So let's hope it's gonna be okay at first. Okay. Okay, I see two mistakes in the text here which I have to fix now. So from a first print, I can already tell what I like, what I don't like. Definitely, I'm gonna now to work on the iPad to delete all of these stripes which I made while I was working to find the middle part. So then, of course, it turned out that that the line it doesn't fit perfectly in the middle, so it doesn't fold in the middle, but it overlaps a little bit outside the center of the page, and that means that you are gonna see the line, of course. So that's the thing I'm gonna do now on the iPad. So each single page I will delete. I will delete the line in each single sheets of page first, and then I will find another needle to hand bind my zine, because this has a too thick head. The head is too thick, so damages a little bit too much the paper while I bind it. So I'm definitely gonna find another needle for it. Also, I don't very much like the thread. Is a bit too. It's beautiful, the look, but it's a bit too slidey, so I'm afraid it's gonna lose the notch once I close it, so I have to be careful with that. Probably I will use again this one just in another way, also to make it cleaner work. Andiamo, dai, come? So after 3 trying out, I finally made the last one. which is the best result till now. It is very simple. It has round corners, which I actually made with this corner puncher. It's very simple to use, and you just fill in the extreme of your page, the pointy corner, you fill it in and you press it until you have a round edge. I hand bind it with thin cotton threads, black one I went for because I find the most simple and it fits the best with illustrations. I made the adjustment which I said before about the line in the middle, so I deleted everything in each single sheet, and now you don't have it anymore, and so it's much more cleaner when you just open it. And also I switched, of course, with a new needle to hand bind, because as I said, the one before I was using, the head was too big, and that made, of course, two big holes while I was sewing. And the one I chose afterwards was much better. Now it's much more clean and less damaged the paper. I'm pretty much happy with the result, honestly. So now the last thing is I will ask Niels to check the Dutch translation, and if he finds it okay, then I will print more copies and give it around.